Shalom, the Lord bless you. Welcome to Purpose and Marital Bliss with Pastor Honorine. I have a prophetic word for someone. God says, do not boast over a privilege. You might lose it. God says, do not boast over a privilege. You might lose it. This word is coming to us mainly from the 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 7. For who separates you from the others? Who makes you superior and sets you apart from another, giving you the preeminence? What have you that was not given to you? And if then you received it from someone, why do you boast as if you had not received it, but had gained it by your own effort? God says, who set you apart? Who separated you from others? Who set you apart from others? He says, what is it that you have that you did not receive from someone? And he says, and if then you receive, why do you boast as if you did not receive, as if you gained it by your own effort? That place where you find yourself was given to you by God. The life that you have is even given to you by God. If we have the consciousness that from the air that we breathe, the life that we live, the jobs that we have, the work, the abilities, the talent, the everything about you, the marriage, everything about you, if you have the consciousness, the beauty, the handsomeness, that it was given to you by God, you are not going to take it for granted. You are not going to boast about it. Because you are going to understand that it was given to you for a purpose. He says, why are you boasting as if you earned it? If you have if you know and have the consciousness that God made you beautiful, you didn't make yourself. You didn't create yourself. So if you are conscious that you are just the clay and there is a potter, you would understand that the potter is responsible for the pot. Whether it be a pot or a vessel of honor or a vessel of dishonor, it was all decided by the potter, not by the clay. So the clay has no right to even boast. You know why? Because the potter that made that clay, that pot, the pot has no right to boast, because the potter is still alive and the potter can make another pot exactly like that. The potter can make another pot better than this one. The potter can turn this pot from a vessel of honor to a vessel of dishonor. The potter can make with this pot however he decides to make with it. If we have the understanding, Vashti, if you understand that you are being in the palace is not because you are beautiful, and even if you are beautiful, it's someone who made you beautiful, and they took you to the palace because the name Vashti means beauty. So when the king tells you, if you understand that someone, it was the potter that made you, who is God, that made you beautiful and placed you in the palace for you to show forth that beauty, for you to show forth his glory, then you would not disobey the king when he tells you to show forth your beauty, because you understand that this is the purpose of which the creator, for which my creator created me beautiful and placed me in the palace. So it will not matter how the state of the king, whatever the king tells you to do, which represents God, whatever God tells you to do, you are going to obey and you do it. And you are not going to just take the privilege for granted and take your being in the palace for granted and flaunt your beauty and say, no, you prefer to party with the women. You are going to obey the king. If you understand that it is by privilege that of all the women you were made this beautiful. If you understand that it is by privilege that you were not just made beautiful, you were placed in the palace. And then it will, if you have that in mind, you will equally understand that when you do something that is not pleasing for the king, you can equally be kicked out of the palace. God says, do not boast over a privilege. You can lose it. You will lose it. You will lose it. So when you forget the fact that it was God that anointed you commander over Israel, and you begin, and God gives you an instruction, and you disobey him, and you begin to do the things that God has not asked you to do because you are in the place of leadership, guess what? The same God that anointed you has not run out of oil. He is going to anoint another. And guess what? The vessel that comes to replace you is never up to you physically. God will take someone that seems like they don't deserve it and is going to uplift them and put them in a place that you will never understand. God will take a David who is considered an outcast in his own home. A David who is an albino, isn't even seeing well, very young and just a teenager. And God will anoint him to replace you. God will take someone who is not seeing well and anoint him to replace you. And guess what? He will not lose any battle. Vashti, when you feel like the beauty is your own and you disobey God, you take it for granted, and you forget that it was just by privilege, God is going to take you out of there and is going to pick an orphan girl that doesn't look like it, that never dreamt she could be in the palace, that never dreamt she could be queen, but she is going to be a good queen, and she's going to do what God wants her to do. So what are we saying? We are saying you should remember that it is God that gave you all that you have. It is God that put you where you find yourself. And it is God that has given you everything. So for you to maintain that position, for you to maintain that place, you've got to obey God and keep obeying him. Otherwise, God will take someone that doesn't look like they deserve it, like doesn't look like that position, doesn't look like it. And the same God, the same potter that made you a vessel of honor is going to turn you into a vessel of dishonor. Is going to turn you into a vessel for manual use. And is going to take another ordinary vessel and turn it into a vessel of honor. And guess what? You are the one who loses at the end of the day. So this is just a warning word for someone. Never boast over privileges. Know that your life, that place where you are found, where you are planted, that position is all a privilege. God put you there for a particular purpose. Find out why you are there and ensure that you obey every instruction that God gives you. Be conscious of the fact that you are there by privilege and you can lose that place. Then you'll be able to keep it. Thank you so much for yielding to the leading of the Spirit to click on this video. Thank you so much for being a part of the family, for subscribing. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do me the favor, subscribe to this channel. And make sure you click that notification bell so that every time a new content is uploaded, every time we are live, you will be notified. God bless you. Shalom.